The past few weeks felt different, subtle, almost unnoticeable at first, but slowly heavy enough to keep you awake at night. Jungkook, your husband, had always been attentive, the type of man who would text you back within minutes, call you whenever he got free time, and smile as though you were the only thing that grounded him after his long days as a CEO. But lately, things had shifted. He came home late. Sometimes it was midnight when you heard his key in the lock. Other nights he slept in his office, claiming meetings ran too long. His phone buzzed endlessly, but when you glanced at it, all you ever saw were curt notifications from unknown numbers or his secretary's name. And texts hours before he replied. The clock ticked past 9 p.m. as you sat at the dining table. The food had long gone cold, but you couldn't bring yourself to move. You stared at the untouched plates, waiting for the sound of the door unlocking. Finally, you picked up your phone and dialed him. He answered after the third ring. Jungkook, are you coming home? He sounded tired and distracted when he replied, I'm still at the office. Don't wait for me, baby. Just eat and sleep, okay? You said that yesterday too. There was a pause, the kind that spoke volumes more than words. Then he sighed. I know. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Just don't stress yourself waiting. The line clicked off, leaving you with nothing but silence. You looked at the food once more, your chest tightening. You tried not to let your thoughts wander too far. He's busy, that's all. He's just busy. But the unease lingered. It was past 1 a.m. when the door finally opened. You pretended to be asleep on the bed, but you could hear him moving, his shoes quietly placed aside, his jacket hung carefully. He moved like a man carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. You kept your breathing steady, not letting him know you were awake. The mattress dipped slightly when he sat on the edge, his hand brushing against your hair. I'm sorry, baby. Your chest tightened, but you didn't move. If he wanted to keep something from you, then maybe you weren't meant to know. A few days later, you met your best friend Meena at a cafe. She noticed your pale face instantly. You look exhausted. What's going on? It's Jungkook. He has been distant lately, always late, barely texting back. I don't want to think this way, Meena, but what if. Meena frowned, setting her cup down. What if what? That he's cheating? Why, don't jump to conclusions. He's a CEO. Work eats him alive sometimes. You know that. You bit your lip, your heart sinking. I know, but when I see him so tired, so secretive, it feels like I don't even know him anymore. And he won't tell me what's wrong. It's like he's shutting me out. Meena reached over and squeezed your hand. Maybe he's trying to protect you from his stress. You two love each other. You know that. Don't let insecurities eat you up. You nodded, but her words couldn't silence the doubts that had begun to sprout in your chest. It was a rainy evening when you felt it, the nausea, the sudden exhaustion, the way your body seemed different. A quiet voice in your head urged you to check. Hours later, you stood in the bathroom staring at the test in your hand. Positive. Your heart raced as tears blurred your vision, not of sadness but overwhelming joy. We are having a baby? You whispered. You pressed the test close to your chest, your lips trembling with a smile. Suddenly, all the loneliness, all the doubt seemed less significant. You finally had something wonderful to share with him, something that might bring back the closeness you missed so much. That night, you waited for him, holding the test in your pocket. When he finally came home past midnight, you stood up with a nervous smile. Jungkook, I have something to tell you. But he looked too drained. His tie was loose, his eyes dark with fatigue. He sighed heavily. Baby, can we talk tomorrow? I swear I'll listen. I need to close my eyes for a bit, please. Your words died in your throat as he collapsed on the bed, asleep within minutes. You stood there holding the test, your heart sinking. Tomorrow, I'll tell him tomorrow. But tomorrow turned into the day after, and the day after that. He was always tired, always busy, always unreachable, until you finally decided you'll surprise him at his office. You'll go to him, tell him face to face. It will be perfect. You had no idea how wrong you were. The day felt different, lighter somehow. You woke up with determination, carefully placing the small gift box in your bag. Inside was the pregnancy test along with a tiny pair of baby socks you had picked up on the way home. Today you were going to his office. Today you would tell him he was going to be a father. You dressed up neatly, excitement making your steps quicker. The unease of the past weeks still lingered in the corners of your heart, but you ignored it. This moment was too precious to be ruined by doubts. You arrived at his company building around 6 p.m. When you knew he would still be in his office, the receptionist smiled at you. Good evening, Mrs. John. Mr. John is in his office. You can go right in. You returned the smile nervously, clutching your bag as the elevator ascended. You imagined his reaction, his wide eyes, the way his hands would cup your face, the tears of joy. Maybe he would lift you into his arms, laugh, kiss you until you couldn't breathe. The elevator dinged. You stepped out, your heels clicking softly against the polished floor as you approached his office door, and then you heard laughter, female laughter. You froze, hand hovering above the door handle. Slowly you pushed the door open. Inside, a woman stood near Jungkook's desk, a small birthday cake in front of her. She was smiling brightly, her eyes crinkling with happiness as she leaned toward the candles. Jungkook stood beside her, a rare smile on his face as he clapped lightly. Come on, make a wish already. The woman giggled before blowing out the candles. Jungkook's laugh followed, and just like that, your world collapsed. The box in your hand slipped, landing with a soft thud against the carpet. Neither of them noticed. Your chest tightened painfully, your vision blurring. You stepped back, your heart screaming, No, no, this can't be true. But the sight was born into your mind, your husband smiling beside another woman, celebrating her birthday like she belonged there. Jungkook finally noticed movement at the door. His head snapped up, eyes widening when he saw you. Baby? But you didn't wait. You turned and ran, your heels clicking furiously down the hallway. Wait, Ryan, wait. You could hear him calling after you, his voice echoing through the corridor. But your tears blinded you. You stumbled into the elevator, frantically pressing the button. The doors closed just as he reached them. You slid down against the cold wall, sobbing silently as the elevator descended. How could you? How could you do this to me? The small gift box lay abandoned in his office. You got into your car, your hands trembling so hard you could barely turn the key. The moment the engine rolled to life, your phone began buzzing, his name flashing on the screen again and again. You ignored it. The streets blurred as you drove aimlessly, tears falling harder with every thought. You pressed a hand against your stomach. I was going to tell you, you are going to be a father, and this is what I find. Your chest ached so badly it felt like you couldn't breathe. Meanwhile, Jungkook was running out of the building, scanning the street, calling your number over and over. His cousin, the woman in his office, stood confused, holding the small gift box you had dropped. Jungkook, what just happened? Who was that? She asked worriedly. But Jungkook didn't answer. His face was pale, his heart in his throat. Where did you go, baby? Please pick up, please. He muttered to himself desperately. Back in the office, the woman sat on the couch, frowning as she turned the box over in her hands. When she opened it, her breath caught. The positive test, the tiny socks. Her eyes widened in shock. She's pregnant? Her chest tightened with guilt. She had just reunited with Jungkook after years of living abroad, and he had insisted on surprising her with a small birthday celebration. Neither of them had imagined it would be seen in the wrong light. Now, because of her, his wife had run away, pregnant and heartbroken. Hours passed. You pulled over at a quiet park, sitting in your car with the engine off. Your phone continued buzzing on and off, his name filling the screen. You gripped the steering wheel tightly, tears streaming down your face. Why, Jungkook? Why would you do this to me? You screamed into the silence. You didn't answer his calls. You didn't want to hear his excuses. You were carrying his child, and yet at that moment, all you could feel was betrayal. The city blurred outside Jungkook's car window as he drove in frantic circles. His tie was loose, his knuckles white as he gripped the steering wheel. He had called you 100 times, sent dozens of messages, none of them answered. Where are you, baby? Please pick up. He pulled over and dialed Meena, your best friend. Jungkook, why are you calling so late? Is Ryan with you? Did she call you? No, why? What happened? She asked, confused. But he hung up before explaining, his chest tightening with fear. Every second without you felt like a noose around his throat. Meanwhile, his cousin sat in his office with the pregnancy test in her lap, her heart sinking. She had already called Jungkook's mother to explain, knowing only family could help fix this mess. It was past midnight when you finally drove back home. Your body felt numb, your mind replaying the sight of him smiling with that woman. The house was dark and quiet when you entered. You headed straight to your room, opening the wardrobe and pulling out a suitcase. Your hands trembled as you folded clothes, stuffing them in carelessly. I can't stay here anymore. You paused, pressing a hand against your stomach. Don't worry, little one. I'll protect you, even if he doesn't want us. Just then you heard the front door slam open. Ryan, his voice echoed through the house, filled with panic. You froze, then with renewed anger, you shoved more clothes into the suitcase. The bedroom door burst open. Jungkook stood there, breathing hard, his face pale and frantic. Baby, you spun around. Don't call me that. His eyes widened at the venom in your tone. I never thought in a thousand lifetimes. I never thought you could stoop so low. If you didn't want me, you could have just said so. Jungkook, why? Why humiliate me like this? He staggered forward. No, no, baby, you have got it wrong. Please listen to me. You cut him off while tears streaming down your eyes. Every cheater says that after being caught. I saw you with her, smiling, celebrating, like she was the one who belonged in your life, not me. Who is that woman, huh? Your mistress? Is that why you were so distant from the past few days? He slammed the suitcase shut. If you didn't want me, you should have told me. I would have left without a scene. Jungkook's throat tightened. He reached for your wrist, but you pulled away violently. Ryan, please, she's not what you think. Let me explain. I don't want to hear it. I don't want your lies anymore. We are done. The words sliced through him like a blade, his chest constricted, his eyes glistening. No, don't say that. You are my everything. How could you think I would ever do that to us? But you only turned away, your body trembling with rage and sorrow. At that moment, the front door opened again. His cousin rushed in, followed by Jungkook's parents. You turned sharply, glaring at the unfamiliar woman. So you brought her here too? To finish the act in front of me? Jungkook's mother quickly stepped forward, her voice calm yet firm. Wayne, sweetheart, please listen. I have misunderstood. You shook your head, chest heaving. Mom, please, I saw it with my own eyes. Don't defend him. The cousin stepped closer, holding the small box you had left behind in the office. I'm not his mistress, I'm his cousin. We haven't seen each other in years because I was studying abroad. He was only helping me celebrate my birthday today. Your breath caught. She held out the box. And you dropped this. I didn't know you were pregnant. Silence fell. Jungkook's eyes widened at her words, his gaze snapping toward you. Pregnant? You froze, your lips trembling, the room filled with tension, your emotions tangled between humiliation, anger, and heartbreak. Tears filled in his eyes. Jungkook's mother stepped between you and her son, placing a gentle hand on your shoulder. Sweetheart, listen to me. Maya is his cousin. She just came back today after years abroad. She went straight to Jungkook's office and he surprised her with a small cake. Nothing more. Your heart skipped, but the anger still clung stubbornly. But the way he smiled at her, the way it looked. You have been hurting, child. You saw what you feared, not what was real. Maya stepped forward quickly, guilt written all over her face. I'm so sorry, I should have introduced myself right away. I never imagined you would misunderstand. Please don't blame him. It was my fault for barging in without explaining who I was. Her voice was sincere, her eyes kind, your throat tightened. Slowly your walls began to crack. Jungkook finally moved, stepping closer, his eyes shimmering with tears. Baby, look at me, please. Just look at me. Reluctantly, you lifted your gaze. You have been busy. Things felt different. I felt lonely, so I doubted. Sorry. He shook his head. Yes, I have been distant. Yes, I came home late, replied late, but it wasn't because of someone else. It was work. There's a deal that could have destroyed the company, and I didn't want to burden you with that stress. I thought I was protecting you, but instead I hurt you. Do you really think I could ever betray you? You are my wife, you are my home, everything I do, everything I fight for. It's for us, for the family I dreamed we would build together. Your eyes blurred again, this time with shame mingled with love. Then why didn't you just tell me? Because I was stupid, because I thought hiding my stress would keep you happy. But I see now, all I did was push you away. I'm sorry, baby. God, I'm so sorry. You stood frozen, torn between anger and relief. Jagu closed the distance gently, prying the suitcase handle from your grip. Don't leave me, please. Don't take yourself away from me. I can't live without you. His voice cracked on the last words. For the first time you saw him not as the strong CEO, but as your husband, the man who loved you so fiercely he was breaking apart at the thought of losing you. Your chest ached, tears spilled freely as you whispered, I thought I lost you. I thought you didn't want me anymore. Never, never, baby. You're the only one I've ever wanted, the only one I'll ever want. His arms wrapped around you tightly, trembling as though he feared you would vanish if he let go. You melted into his embrace, sobbing against his chest. When you finally pulled back, Jungkook cupped your face, his thumbs brushing away your tears. Is it true? Tell me, baby. Are we really going to have a baby? Your lips trembled, but you nodded. Yes. I found out a few days ago. I wanted to surprise you, but then. You trailed off, shame coloring your cheeks. For a heartbeat, Jungkook just stared. Then his eyes filled with tears, a trembling smile breaking across his face. We are having a baby. I'm going to be a dad. He pulled you into his arms again, kissing your forehead, your cheeks, your lips, unable to stop himself. His tears wet your skin, but his laughter broke through the heaviness. Thank you. Thank you, baby, for giving me this. I swear, I'll be the best father, the best husband. I'll never make you doubt me again. His mother wiped her own tears, smiling warmly. I knew something was different about you, sweetheart. You are glowing already. His father chuckled softly, patting Jungkook's back. Finally, some good news in this house. His cousin smiled too, relief evident on her face. Congratulations, both of you, and I promise I'll make sure no more misunderstandings happen because of me. You smiled faintly, embarrassed but comforted. I'm sorry, sister, that was so stupid of me. She shook her head, smiling. Don't apologize, you were not wrong, but I'm sorry I ruined your surprise. It's okay, now we all know. This is much better. They all smiled and Jungkook pulled you in his arms again.